So morning folks, this is day 26. We've just left the Mitta River. Had a nice rest day there yesterday, sensational, really needed it. We've come up out of the fog, which is down just below this farmland. Sun's out, beautiful day. It's nice and cool at the moment. Just walking through this nice farmland here. Come up Tablelands Road onto lower Tablelands Road, and towards the end of this we'll pick up the track and head up to Johnny's Top today. Mostly keep working our way eastwards towards the Cobberas in Vic before we start to turn north up into cross up into New South Wales to Thredbo and Kosciuszko National Park, of course. So yeah, should be a tough day. I think getting up Johnny's Top, we pretty much go from about 500 to nearly 1600. It'll be tough going up, particularly as it starts to warm up. Pack's heavy. We got loaded up with food for I don't know how many days we've got, 9-10 days or something before we get into Thredbo. Met a lovely couple down at the river there, Taylor's Crossing. Tim and Michelle. They're been travelling around for the last two and a half years, and they come in just before I got in. Thanks to Michelle, the salads, made a couple of salads for me, and hot drink. They're taking out my rubbish, which is very kind of them. I've given them a couple of things I've got a little excess of, so it all works out. They've, as I said, been travelling around. Tim's big shout out to his YouTube channel, which is True Blue Overland. So check that out. He usually posts something, I believe, on a weekly basis of his adventures around. The cattle always looking around, checking me out. I think with the pack on, I'm actually bigger than them. So they've been sort of running away. I think, although the first lot thought I must have had food because they started jogging up towards the gate. All right, time to rip into it, and we'll speak to you later. Okay, day 27, we are at Johnny's Top, 1575 metres. Yeah, pretty much saw two little glimpses, one of Bogong yesterday and another one around down towards countryside, the east of Benambra, but nothing to really take a photo. This is pretty much all. You just got a lot of tree. Just everything's sort of blocked by trees. A lot of regrowth up through here. Fire about 4 or 5 years ago, I think. So, yeah. So just really no views, unfortunately. Got the tower there. The generator didn't really worry me too much. It was running through the morning. It's got the rocket powered up, ready to launch. Anyway, nice day. So this is what, nearly 6 days in a row we've had pretty good weather. So hopefully that'll continue. Today down to Cowombat Creek, just short of 12 k's, pretty much all downhill. So that's good. We'll get down there probably just after lunch. We'll have a late lunch or something, I think. And we'll just have a bit of a relaxing afternoon. Bit of a tough one up from Taylor's crossing yesterday. It's bit over 23, almost 24 k's, mostly uphill. Part of the climb was coming up from Banamba Corryong Road. Not too bad earlier on, or probably almost 3/4 at the last bit. Probably an old four-wheel drive track. Some of those old four-wheel drive tracks are just, when they're really deteriorated, pretty crappy. So just everything bashing into your face and just crappy ground. So, and yeah, it was getting pretty warm too. So all right, we'll pack her up and get cracking, I suppose. That's my first one today. He's off. Okay, so we are at Cowombat Creek. Got here probably just before 2. Not a hard day, it's a pretty good track down from Johnny's top. Steep the last little bit, but and then cross the flats. Just a couple of wallabies, one snake today, that's about it. Haven't seen anyone. We set up the tent, it's probably about 4 in the afternoon now. It's bloody gotten a bit cool. So I've got the jumper on actually, jacket. We might go for a bit of a walk and a bit of a sticky beak around. Pig was literally wandered to about here when I just sort of spotted something in the corner of my eye, and it startled him when I you know, moved, like what the hell, and I couldn't get the bloody phone out of my pocket fast enough. All I ended up getting was a bloody shot, and he shot off. I've gone for a walk up there to see if I could find him, but he's disappeared. He was a big pig. Anyway, I don't know where he is now. He's just disappeared somewhere. Anyway, I've seen a few roos pop around here and there. Have to keep an eye out for him. I'm having beef stew. I was going to have pork stew, so So we've just come up onto the Mount Hope Road. It got really cold earlier this morning. Pretty misty this morning, couldn't see much. Not much noise during the night. You hear the odd roo bouncing around. Plenty of roos come out late in the afternoon there in the flat and down into where I was camped. Pretty grassy sort of an area. You can see little Piggy again after he was obviously pretty shy. Good track heading up. It's almost a car length wide all the way up, so pretty easy. Yeah, I figured as the mist was getting lighter, I was getting up, it was going to clear up, so it looks like a nice day. It wasn't a breath of wind, but just the slightest little breeze now, so we're going to head up in this direction. Mount Hope Road, pretty much a logging road. It is a good access road to some good four-wheel drive tracks. I know had been logging up Mount Addison there for a long time. Haven't sighted anyone at all, haven't heard a vehicle or anything, even yesterday, so it's quiet. It's alright. Anyway, I'll have a drink a chocky bar and we'll keep going. We'll try and see if I can knock some of this bush down with something. Alright. So we've just turned off Mount Hope Road, now onto Walking Track. Just passed a four-wheel drive before, and he just sort of slowed up. He just asked if I was okay, so that's always a good thing. If you see someone out in these remote areas, just ask if they're all good. I was going to say to him if he'd seen the missing jug of squash and a chicken palmy running around. I figured it's probably a stupid comment, but anyway. Yeah, so it's cleared right up. Still can't get much of a view of the, just scattered through the trees. You can see sort of the mountains up towards, I suppose, Mount Hope, Gibbo, whatever, but yeah, nothing really clear. It's nice conditions. A little bit up here, it's a bit cooler, so probably up around 1200 or so. Anyway, we'll now head down towards Buckwong Creek. We might turn off and do a little detour into the old mine there, Mount Murphy Historic Area. To this Mount Murphy Historic Area, and I've just spotted this grey brumby feeding away. I don't know if he's on his own or not. He hasn't seen me yet. Must be on his own. Pretty lean, really. Anyway, there we go. He's just watching me now. Hard to tell whether there's others around. They sit up in the bush there. They camouflage so easy. Anyway, he's taken off now. So I'm up at the Mount Murphy mine. Geez, tracking doesn't really look like anyone comes up here anymore. It's getting eroded and just doesn't look like it even gets driven. I found bits of metal in the bush there. I guess with the fire that's come through, it's just been sort of reclaimed. All that regrowth just seems to swallow stuff up. So yeah, a few bits of old metal and that around, but that's about it. There's still a dam here. probably good for the horses. Yeah, there used to be a lot more. I haven't been in here for quite a few years, but there was a lot more, and it was a lot more obvious. So as you can see, all the sort of, I guess, tailings there or whatever. Found a few more bits over here, but yeah, it's yeah, just not much left anymore. So wolfram is what they were mining for, tungsten ore. So back in the I think it was 1890s, and but this really never really got going, but it was sort of ceased, I think, back in the 40s, 1940s. So anyway, pretty remote spot out here. Maybe we'll wander past that brumby again. As I was walking away, I could hear him snorting up the bush there. So I think he was too happy with me disturbing him feeding. I'll probably go back and annoy him again. So this is the entrance into Buckwong Creek. This is coming in from the Mount Hope Road. It's a beautiful spot. But I wouldn't drink the water directly. You can see where the horses cross. See here, this part of the track here, I noticed down the end of the camping ground when the ground must have been soft. Looks like they'd been doing donuts and stuff up in there. So unfortunately, yeah, there's dickheads who get into these areas and just churn the track up. I did notice there's all these little streams, there's little trout that shoot off. So I suspect this would be the AAWT here, heads up in through there. One thing you've got to be careful of is a lot of the brumby trails, because horses are quite big. A lot of the brumby trails look like tracks, and whilst they are tracks, they're just not the ones that you necessarily want. Anyway, work it out. There's plenty of camping spots through here. No one here, of course. Beautiful spot. There's a bit of horse poo around, but there's not really what you'd say much fresh stuff. So this is Buckwong Creek here. It's a small little creek. Buckwong Creek will end up over in the Murray or Indy River. Indy is the upper Murray anyway. That's it, beautiful day. Just relaxing. Interesting to see what comes wandering in tonight. Just checking a couple of tracks out. One I thought was a brumby track was actually the AAWT. There's the marker, and heads up through there. So something I noted in the book there was a lot of these short gums. Obviously this, as I said earlier, a lot of this stuff's been is all fire damage, but these short gums are actually called omeo gums. I don't know the Latin name for them, but yeah, they don't grow to a big height. I noticed some of the main camping area there, and I thought they looked quite unusual. So I don't know whether they're specific to this area. Anyway. Righto, day 29, just got up onto the Mount Misery Trail. There's a marker there, we've just come out. So, got pretty cold down at Buckwaln Creek last night. It's pretty quiet otherwise. So this track here, they send a machine down. They probably did it over 12 months ago apparently. And it goes down to the Buckwaln Creek. So it's parallel to the old track, but it's further south of it, and it goes straight down to the bottom. So if you're heading southbound, it's probably easier because once you hit the bottom, you've only got to turn right and pretty much head north and keep the river to your left. But heading northbound, well, I had time to check out the old track this morning, and it really doesn't look like it gets used. So there was a brumby in there snorting at me, so I think he was saying, no, not this way, dummy. So I met Jill and Rob last night. They're on the Facebook group, and I remember Rob saying, I asked him about the track, and he said, just keep to the flats and you'll pick it up. So I did. I stuffed around for a while, but I didn't. In the end, I pushed up a bit further than I was expecting, and anyway, I found it. But yeah, there's just no real markers. Of course, you've got brumby track going bloody everywhere just to confuse things. So anyway, just push up the river flats a bit further upstream or south. Well, it's looking north across Davies Plain Ridge. Of course, you keep following across the Davies Plain and it'll take you down to Tom Grogan, and up from there, of course, you've got Pinnabar and whatever. We're going to head south for the moment, and then we'll get up, I think, to a higher point, and we'll hopefully get a few more shots of some mountains, because we haven't had much in the way of views for the last few days. And then we're making our way across to Limestone Creek. So it'll be interesting to see whether BTAC have cleared the area through Smoko Creek and whatever. Anyway, Jill and Rob have gone early there trying to get the other side of Bully Creek. So, and they've got some trying to cover some Ks. I think they're trying to get through to Thread Bay before the weather turns crap on the weekend, I think. So I might check that out when I get some service up, make up a bit further. Righto, quick break and we'll get moving. So just up on Mount Misery, just really can't seem to get any clear views. So I think we're up around 1600 odd. So, but yeah, all this regrowth fire's just smashed through here. Still plenty of horse poo around. Just got my daughter to check out fire northeast of Benambra. So apparently, yes, that was out of control from what Jill and Rob were saying. So it's been confirmed as contained last night, so that's good. Nothing to worry about there. forecast through to Thredbo. Again, that's looked like the update on that from Jill and Rob. Looks like it's actually better than maybe early forecast, with a lot of rain I think coming Sunday, but forecast doesn't say that. Seems to be pretty good. So. So day 29, we are at Limestone Creek, on the Limestone Creek track. Not a lot of water flowing through it. She's pretty low. I've seen this, well, a hell of a lot more water in it. Anyway, so that's the track. We head in that direction tomorrow, not for maybe 700 odd metres before we head off through the bush again and make our way over to Cowombat track, and then we head up to the border. The Murray is about a foot wide. So that track there, if you keep following it out, it'll take you down to Limestone Caves. I don't really mark the caves, but you can, if you know where to look, you can go into them on your hands and knees. And that'll take you out to the Black Mountain Road. Right will take you back to Benambra, left will take you over towards the Snowy and the Killips Bridge. Take you down the mountain there. This here's the track I come down. I was only come down it for about a K. Just a little steep section where I come onto it. If you keep following this four-wheel drive track, it'll take you up to the Poplars, which is the highest spot you can camp on the Murray by four-wheel drive. And then you can, from there you can head west. You can cut back over to Buckhorn Creek where I was last night, or you can head across to Davies Plain and down to Tom Grogan. The fire going. I was hoping there was a bit more water in there. Anyway, I managed to have a bit of a wash up and wash some clothes, socks and shirt. Get a bit stinky as usual. I'm still trying to dry the socks off. Anyway, I got the country tunes going. I'm about to have a cuppa. Not much other. The track today was really good coming off Misery Trail. They've been in there. They've cleared the track through there, so it was pretty easy. So we are now up on the Cowombat track, and so now it's we head northwards. That's the Stony Creek, so that's the creek we followed all the way up. It's a pretty good track up. The last towards the last bit, it was sort of steep and no breeze. It was, I think it's most I've sweated actually. It was like a bit of a sauna. A bit better up here, a little bit more of a breeze out in the open. So we're only about 15 k's from the border to the India or Murray River. I think there's a gate up here, and that'll limit your four-wheel drive access in. Then it becomes management vehicle only. But that's pretty much the run right through from here to the end. A lot more easier walking, and I say that just from a walking perspective. Weather can be a bit different across the Kosciuszko, but from the Victorian side, that's pretty much the end of the slog, the ups and downs, and a lot of the real bushwalking. Snake. Sometimes they're hard to film because they bloody wriggle off so damn fast. So finally made it into Cowombat Flat. See a couple of signs down there, that's where the border is between Vic and New South Wales and also the India River, Murray River. There's a pilot up there. There's a plane wreck, I'll wander over there in a sec. When I have camped up here, I've camped up this end. I might go and have a look around go down, we'll sort out some water, snoop around. Alright, I'll wander over to that plane wreck. So just up this southern end of the flat, these are the remains of a AAWT C-47 Dakota aircraft that crashed here in 1953, killed one. The rest of the survivors, one seriously injured, made their way back to Benambra. They cut out most of the plane, salvaged that, and this is what's left of the rest of the bits.